Welcome back, everyone. This will be the second episode of Creating Clarity in Scentwork. Before we get into this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Leave us a comment, folks. Help us with the algorithm. We're putting these videos out. We're giving you an overview of the system. To get more in depth on this training system, jump over to randyhare.com. He's going to be putting everything on his Patreon page at this point. You're going to see the nose work dogs and you're going to see the professional detection dogs, folks. It's going to be worth the membership. And while we're speaking of memberships, join our membership. It helps us create more videos. It allows us to travel and go to places such as Randy's and to visit other places that we have coming up to bring you some really good content. Now, we're going to jump over. You're going to see the third session. The puppy's 7.5 months old. At this point, working through some issues. The full video will be on the Patreon page, and we're going to talk about our experience on the membership section, as well as other things that we see from a judging perspective and from just traveling and competing a lot. So, hope you like this video, and we will see you next time. Here we have our third training session utilizing the Randy Hare Scentpods. If you watched the previous video, you will notice that we've added a few more pods to the wall. If not, go back and watch that first video. It's going to explain a lot of stuff about how this training system is different. Mainly from the beginning, we create clarity and value from day one. Now, you will notice I'm going to go ahead and point out something I'm doing wrong, and that's simply to not be prepared. I don't have a treat pouch. I don't have a training vest, so I'm constantly asking Randy to hand me the reward. So therefore, my timing isn't the best in this video. Now, as I'm pulling the puppy off the first run, you know, I'm gonna pet her up. I'm gonna try to get her focused. She is a puppy, and you will notice here that she goes out and she does puppy things. Now, how many times have we been at a trial and noticed that dogs aren't actively searching? The environment, something in the environment has them just wanting to look around. They look like they're on a shopping spree. Maybe they're a little stressed. Maybe they're just not understanding the game. But real quickly, once she starts doing what she's supposed to do, boom, we start rewarding. Once that nose goes in to that pod and that nose is on odor. We do allow her to run around, goof off, and make mistakes because they can't learn how to be right if they're never allowed to be wrong. Real quickly, though, you can see that she puts 2 and 2 together and returns to searching. Now, what you're going to see in the rest of this video is we're going to manipulate the environment and start teaching this young dog that odor can be anywhere. One of the things I also want to point out is she's currently at that age where she's going through a fear period. So we're addressing a lot of issues with detection, a lot of issues that arise when people do start to trial, or maybe it's the reason they came into Scentwork. Scentwork is excellent for building dogs' confidence. Go back a few seconds, you see him clap. He's trying to add in distractions. Now that she's focused a little bit more, you're going to see us do this throughout this video. Once the dog has mastered this system, they can work in any environment. They can work through distractions. If you have a fearful dog, it builds their confidence. And you see right there, Randy's trying to make some attraction with the reward, pull her off odor, but she very quickly, she learned this in the first training session. The only way that I'm going to get that reward is to go to source. Boom, right there. Now you see me almost, well, I did drop it, didn't almost drop it. But you want to make sure that if you make mistakes, folks, because none of us are perfect. If you make mistakes in this process, make sure that dog can't go over there and get that treat. Make sure you can pick it up. That's why this is done on leash. Early on, it's done with the back tie. Once again, lots of praise. You know, this needs to be the most valuable thing this dog does. We're back here playing and adding extra value to just this training session. Randy's going to be setting the box up just a little bit different. Every time we move this, it's just a different presentation for the dog. Some of them are low, some of them are high. You'll see later on, we're going to move it in a manner where the dog has to go into a tight spot to get the odor. The dog needs to learn how to solve all these problems and see that it can be anywhere. Once again, another change. The dog's actually climbing on top of the wall to get the odor. You're going to see Randy come in, start adding a little bit of distraction to the dog. He's making some noise. He's talking to the dog. This is what I was talking about. She's not the most confident around new people, but she works through that issue. No, I don't want you petting me, she says. However, he continues to stay there, and boom, she works out the problem. This is what sets, well, this is one of many reasons that sets this system apart from others. Here we go again. Additional distraction. He's actually bringing the whole bowl of hot dogs around. She's sniffing, but she's not going for them. She's only getting paid when she's on source. Once again, as a judge, I can't tell you how many times at trial, at higher levels, when we're allowed to introduce a food distractor, how many dogs fail. We discussed this in the first video. Well, it's no big surprise. You spent 6 months, you spent a year, you spent however many months your training class spent teaching a dog to search for food before pairing it with odor, and then you act surprised. All right, here we go. The distraction's a little bit higher. We actually worked in a little corner in a tight space there. You can see Randy's tossing the hot dogs out, but yeah, she can go check it out. We're not going to allow her to get the reward. And now she's focused right back on source. And we mentioned this first video. From the beginning, these dogs learn that the only way to get said reward or to get that game if you're using a toy is to go to source. So the clarity is there, even in this young puppy. Made it a little bit more challenging in this one. And she's working, so we're allowing her to work. And you can see a little bit of a head snap there. When she goes in to get closer to source, we start rewarding. And I'm gonna move this out of the way and start rewarding her. And this is something that we would do later on when she's doing interior searches. You know, if she alerted on a locker, we're gonna open the locker up, allow her to go to source, and reward at source. So wrapping up this third training session, folks, as I said in the intro, the full videos will be available on Randy Hare's Patreon. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my experiences on the membership section. So hopefully you like this, and we'll see you next week.